back to my channel. This is my friend Jackie of 20 years.
Oh yes.
20 plus, right?
20 plus.
So I took her to see The Room, and she hasn't seen The Disaster Artist yet. I think it was good that she saw The Room first.
So she told me that it was gonna be like really bad, and so I was like,
But
oh, I've
fun.
seen bad foreign films before and all that.
I did an unboxing of this, I think, last year or the year before. I don't remember. I've had this for a while now. I bought the DVD and I watched it alone, which I think the first time you watch it, you should be with people, because the first time I watched it, I had the same reaction as she did, because I kept looking over at her, because I've seen this like 3 times already. This is my 4th time. And then you just, it's like, it's a cringe, it's just a big cringe experience, and I think you should watch it definitely with your friends for the first time.
My face kept getting more and more distorted because I was like, especially with certain scenes.
Every 10 minutes, there's like a sex scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seemed like each one was worse than the one before. So
No,
I was
the
like,
first one was pretty bad. I never like reviewed this movie because it's really hard to review because nothing really happens.
everything happens, but nothing happens.
Yes. And every character talks like Tommy, like dialogue-wise. He wrote all the characters in the way that he talks, so you don't really get to know any of them.
And the scenes aren't really like...
It doesn't flow.
Yeah.
It's just like there's a
They're
bunch
not
of
tied
scenes
together.
Yeah.
It's like randomness. And people... The characters come into the scene randomly, and then they leave randomly.
Oh, it was really fun because the audience, especially the people behind us, like, they probably watched the movie like 10 times because they knew what was going to happen before, and they would like repeat lines.
Oh, they would like say hi to characters that were coming into the scene in a movie. So they'd be like, hi Denny, hi Mark, bye Denny, bye Lisa.
And they knew all of the Tommy lines. I knew some of them, but they like knew all of them. So let's talk about The Room if you guys don't know what the crap I'm talking about. This movie came out in 2003, and it was written, directed, and produced by Tommy Wiseau. We really don't know much about him. He just like came out of nowhere, and he's very secretive about his past. He sold jeans to make that money.
Oh.
Yeah, like he had, I think it's Street Fashions USA in San Francisco, like a clothing company that sold irregular Levi's.
Okay.
So can you make $6 million selling irregular jeans? You'd have to sell a lot of $30 jeans. Later he said that he also invested in real estate, so that makes more sense. His best friend in real life, Greg Sestero, he wrote the part for him. His character's name is Mark. They're best friends in the movie as well, and they say it like 50 times.
50 times.
Johnny's my best friend.
Sure
Yeah,
that
but
they're
Johnny's your best friend.
But he's my best friend.
Johnny's your best friend. And so he's a banker, and he is engaged to Lisa,
Who started off in love with him, so it's like
Yeah.
centered around their relationship and how...
And you called her bipolar?
Yes, because she would be ever so happy one moment, and then she'd be manipulative the next moment, like, I don't love him anymore.
And then the next thing she'd be like, Johnny's a really good person.
Up
And then
and
she'll
down.
go call Mark. Oh, and she's having an affair with Mark. And the affair starts the day after.
Yes.
Yeah, the second scene, she talks to her mom, and then later she's bored.
She's bored, she
So
calls up Mark.
So this movie costs around $6 million to make, and what would you think the budget would be if you didn't know that?
It looked like $100,000.
Yeah.
Like done in like a back lot of some sort, and they had props. I mean, yeah, they
You know
had
what
a
the
green
props
screen.
looked like?
but-
We were in theater together. It looked like the theater props that we had. It looked really dated, and you were saying that it looked 90s, right?
Yes, the era looked like 90s. The clothing.
Her clothing, her wardrobe was so bad. Lisa's wardrobe, like that costumer, I don't think she was very experienced because the clothing didn't fit her well. It made her look larger than she is.
Yes, and kind of a more masculine.
Yeah, and then her back when
Structure.
she was wearing that red dress that he tears up and molests at the end of the movie. That red dress like gave her a hunchback when she walks down the stairs, and she does this like a turn.
It wasn't flattering for a lot of the
I
characters.
feel like it looked like an early 80s porn. Like
Yeah, it had a
the
porn
way it
feel
was
to
filmed,
Mhm,
and there was a
definitely.
lot of
Like random scenes.
Yeah.
So, like all of a sudden they'd have a sex scene out of nowhere.
And then the next scene, it would be like she's just all of a sudden talking to her mom. And they have the same conversation.
Oh, she's a gold digger.
Yeah, oh my God, her
Mom's a gold
mom.
digger.
Every time that they're sitting there drinking coffee, having the same conversation. Except for the breast cancer, which was never brought up again.
But everything's gonna be okay.
Don't worry about it.
Be fine. Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
Because,
You're dying, but don't worry about it.
Yeah, and they're curing these things all the time now.
Did you ask me who Denny was?
Yeah, because it seemed like some random kid off the street. So, but then he looked like he was in his early adulthood. However, he acted like he was like 15
Yeah.
or 16 at the most. So
When he was like 26.
yeah, and he was creepy. He was like,
Yeah.
he kind of was like, hey, can I watch? Like, they're about to have sex and you want to watch? And then it was kind of like that. He was like the nephew, son type character.
But then they explain it in the middle of the movie.
yeah,
Like,
after the mugging.
that was my favorite. You didn't like that was like the best actor in the movie. The guy.
I know, I just thought the whole scene was like...
It was random. It was random.
Like over.
Yeah. So Denny is selling drugs, I guess, and he owes this guy who's the drug dealer with a gun. His name is Chris R. And he pulls a gun on Denny and he's like, "Give me your fucking money." Tommy actually says that that's his favorite scene too. Yeah, they took the gun off him really easily, even though he was a lot bigger than them. And they took him to the police and they came back in like 2 minutes. You know what? I think the police department was like
Downstairs.
Yeah, downstairs.
It's downstairs.
Yeah,
It was
in
like, hey,
another
we have
room.
a criminal for you.
Yeah.
Here you go. Okay, we're going back up to the roof.
The same gun was the gun that Johnny shot himself with. You notice? It was
Yes,
the silver gun.
the silver gun.
So he kept the gun even when that doesn't make sense because you're supposed to turn it in for evidence.
For evidence, yeah.
Yeah, but he kept it.
He kept it,
Yeah.
as a souvenir.
That's like the theme, I feel like, of every scene. Like, he wrote himself as the hero, the protector, like the good guy, the popular one. Oh, the birthday party where he's like,
Oh, and she invited all my friends. And I was like,
good thinking.
wait, like, who else is he supposed
The
to
neighbors.
invite?
Or he didn't
Or
know.
she's supposed to invite?
We're not really making sense because
It didn't
the
make
movie
sense.
didn't make sense. So, what'd you think of Tommy?
Oh, he had very interesting dialogue. It was very like his acting was a little dry.
Wooden.
I think, yeah, it's kind of like as if you were reading them off of a page. I will have to say that's what was the kind of endearing part or the humorous part about it, and that made it kind of fun, is because you were waiting for what he was going to
Yeah.
say next, and then you were waiting to hear how he said it because it was like,
No human acts like that. Okay, take him out of the movie just for a second. It would have been the worst non-entertaining movie ever. This movie has been screening for 14 years because of Tommy, because he's entertaining.
well, he's also, like you said, they tie all the other characters to him, like his best friend, his fiance, his neighbor, the kid that he
His
helps.
friend, the psychologist. Oh, and she asked me at the party, there was this other guy who's confronting Lisa, like, you shouldn't be doing this, Tommy. And she's like, who's this? And I missed something? I'm like, no, that's Peter, the psychologist. But the original Peter only filmed those 2 or 3 scenes. I forgot. Tuxedo, and then the psychologist talk in the house.
In the living room.
The living room. Oh, in the living room tuxedo. Living room tuxedo.
And then up in the roof.
Oh, I
Remember?
forgot.
Yeah,
Yeah. That guy replaced that guy. But they didn't, like, address it. It was just, like,
No.
this random guy. I thought the guy that played Peter, the psychologist, was a decent actor. I
Yeah,
thought he was decent.
he was. I liked his character.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. So every time that you see frames with spoons, that's when, did we mention
Oh,
that
yeah,
part?
the people behind us kept saying spoons because we weren't allowed to throw spoons, so they kept saying spoons. Oh, and I explained to her that those are the stock photos. Lisa and Johnny were supposed to take pictures and put them in. The props department told Tommy, and he's like, if they're looking at the frames, they're not paying attention to the right part about the movie, so never mind. Oh, and then too many shots of San Francisco, like by the end of the movie you're like, you feel like you just took a trip to San Francisco. It was like too much, and a lot of them I felt like were reused.
It was kind of like, you know, when you watch TV shows, like for instance Full House, and they show the houses on one street. It's like what a show does, but you only see it once in a show.
Yeah, right.
But it's
The
like
intro.
they did it throughout the whole movie, the same shot.
Wasn't it 2 hours?
It was about 2 hours.
No, it was 1 hour and 39 minutes. It felt like a 3-hour movie.
It did.
It felt like Star Wars.
I felt like I was anticipating each and every scene because I was waiting for, okay, what's coming up
See,
next?
it's the first time you're watching it, it doesn't feel like a long movie, but this is my like 4th time, so it felt like a long one. Let's talk about Me Underwears guy.
Me Underwears. He's not Irish, by the way. That was one of those random scenes, so it's not even their house. They walk in.
I'm not going over to her house to go make out with somebody with a box of chocolates. That's just really weird.
They weren't just gonna make out.
Yeah.
They were gonna have sex on their
like
couch.
on their couch
In their living room.
But like,
so.
and the chocolate thing, like, I feel like there were so many cliches in this movie, like the roses, the chocolate.
I don't expect my boyfriend to take them and throw them at me in bed. I mean, either you're already there when I get there.
Roses have thorns, you know, and he was like rubbing it on her and then going like this. And then in another scene, like later, where she was doing it in the bed with Mark, there was like the dried up roses from like way before, like when she did it with Tommy.
So
yeah,
like
it was like
from
potpourri.
a couple days before, those roses were already, or were still in the bed. Yeah, they didn't make the bed. They didn't take off the roses. So apparently they kept sleeping on top of, so it was like layer after layer of love making.
And she didn't work because the computer business was very competitive and she didn't get any phone calls. So she did have time to make the bed, other than to just sit there and complain to her mom every day.
I don't know how long it would have taken her because for
The
his
sweeping.
50th birthday party, just a birthday party, it took her 2 days just to sweep one area in the living room.
She's wearing the same outfit.
And she's wearing the same outfit like a day or two later.
And I wanted to mention that you can only order this on his website or Amazon. I don't know if they sell it on eBay, but it's not available to rent, so it's not on Netflix or video on demand or anything like that. Like, you have to buy it. I wanted to address this too. Like, I feel like he wrote this movie about life. Like, all these issues he wanted to cram into one movie, like the drugs,
gangster, doing and selling drugs.
Yeah. Adoption or like father figure,
to like a underprivileged teen.
Breast cancer.
Breast
it's not
cancer,
funny. I'm just saying, like, yeah, he threw it in there. He threw it in there,
Yeah.
but he didn't save much else about it.
Yeah.
That's another plot hole, along with the drug dealer.
Infidelity.
Yes, infidelity. Career.
You know, a lot of issues, and just did not.
But
he
like,
just touched on
he
it.
could have made like 10 movies with all of the subjects in this movie. Did you know that he wanted the ending to be like to have his white Mercedes fly off the bridge and him to turn out to be a vampire and not be dead? But they couldn't do it like visually, special effects wise. I think that would have been like really cool if they did that. Anyways, the ending was so dumb. She's like, "Is he dead?"
They kept questioning if he was dead, and there was like a pool of blood by his head. So going back to the ups and downs of Lisa's character and Mark. So before this scene where he kills himself, she's fed up. I'm done with you. I just stuck around just to stick around. I'm gonna go be with Mark. Mark's like inviting her to come up to wherever he lives.
The tape recorder. Tape recorder. Hey baby, or I want your body.
Oh yeah, I want your body. So
that line was so cringy.
So he was saying that. She was saying that. So it's like they're gonna run off together. So Tommy goes on this rage and is throwing stuff off.
I love that. I love that
tops
scene.
And pulling out dresses. And making noise and flailing arms. And then when Tommy actually kills himself, automatically they're there right away. And then all of a sudden,
you know what? Mark must live like next to the police station.
Yeah, on the floor below.
Yeah.
Because they were there ASAP. And then Lisa's crying over
and Denny
body.
comes in later, which he shouldn't have. He should have come in first because he lives next door or in that building.
So Lisa thinks, well, I've lost Johnny, however I still have you, right, Mark? And Mark was like, get away from me.
Yeah, before it was like, I want your body.
I want your body, come over.
Now your friend is dead and you don't want her body anymore. He called her a bitch.
Yeah, and then Denny comes in and then that whole thing, and then he tells both of them to get out of the room. And then he's crying over the body. So
would you watch this again?
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
I would too. You
Yeah.
should watch it again.
Yeah,
No, we were
definitely.
saying how we should watch it drunk next time.
Yes.
We'll watch it drunk one day.
Yes, we will. We'll have to watch The Disaster Artist,
Yeah.
believe it or not. How
I've
right.
seen it twice.
I thoroughly enjoyed The Room. I did.
So yeah, check out The Room. It's also available on Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray, the background is blue and his face is scrunched like this. Did you see the cover? It says, "Can you really trust anyone?" He added this part later. Experience this quirky new black comedy, it's a riot. He added that part after it wasn't perceived as like a Tennessee Williams drama.
Oh.
Like he added that when everyone was laughing at it.
Oh.
And it's really sad because, like, imagine that you poured your heart into this project and then people were laughing at it. So what do? Would you have done what he did?
Yeah,
Like, he
I
went
would
with
have. I think he took it gracefully.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he's a good sport.
Definitely a great sport. He took a situation he could have just cried over or
Yeah.
been really bitter about and said, you know what? I'm going to promote it the way that it is. People perceived it to be funny, and you know, like they showed little clips of him appearing at
in the
some of-
beginning.
appearing
That
at
was
some
cool
of
they
these
did.
events.
I think they're gonna screen it again because it's doing really well. They did it last Friday and they did it this Friday, and I think they're gonna have another screening. So I definitely suggest you go because there's clips of that in the beginning of a screening where he attended and he's like answering questions, and there's also like little random gets, and there's the Best Friends entire Best Friends trailer at the end that's not the same one on YouTube.
I think that's all that I have to say.
So you would
until-
definitely watch it again, right?
I would definitely watch it again. I definitely am going to go see The Disaster Artist as soon as I'm able to.
Oh, and I'm gonna drag her to see Best Friends with me. There's 2 parts to it: March
And
and
May.
May.
So,
yeah,
yeah,
2
volume
parts.
1 and
yeah,
volume 2.
it's Kill Bill, volume 1, volume 2.
Intermission, future husband is arriving.
Woot, woot.
Alexandria prepared for today. She ran out and got 2 boxes.
I got one for her, and then we only used half a box.
Yeah.
Actually, some of them are floating around in my purse.
Before we even knew that we weren't allowed to throw them.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you for watching our
Nice
chit
to
chat. And yeah, you're gonna do more videos of it?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay.
This was fun.
So, thumbs up for Jax, and let us know your thoughts on The Room. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you in my next video.
Okay.
I think we got it.
Do you explain something with no real outline? Like when you edit it, you're gonna, like if we have long pauses, you're just gonna,
Oh yeah, I don't leave it in.
yeah. Okay.
Future wife. He never says fiance once in the movie. Did you see?
Dummy.
Did you see him picking his nose in that scene?
Babe,
Hi, babe.
you're on video. Shh. That would do anything for my princess. Audience.
Focus.
That there's no real rhyme or
My
reason.
stomach is growling. Do you hear it? It's been
No.
growling.
I'll
I'll cut that out. Notice how she's like,
yes. Oh, and then my favorite part was
oh, boop. I don't kiss
She's
my
my
mom.
mommy.
I hug her. We do that Asian hug.
The Asian hug. It's like,
Yeah.